Hello and welcome back to the Long Island Railroad Montauk branch, or not the Long Island Railroad Montauk branch. This is a follow-on to my previous video where I talked about my new redone layout. I highly recommend you go back and look at that video. It's awesome. But anyway, in this video we're going to talk about my second operational concept, which involves this baby. This is Walther's SD9 for the Duluth, Mesabi, and Ironton Railroad. I saw this advertised online and I said, oh my gosh, I love it. It's beautiful. I gotta have it. It's got everything. I've always been fascinated by iron ore railroad operations. So one of the motivations for redoing the layout was in fact making it a little more amenable to doing operations with this guy and the 16 rail cars, iron ore cars that I got to go with it. Now these iron ore cars, also from Walther's, come in sets of 8, and each set of 8 is further subdivided into 2 groups of 4. I further subdivided that so that each group of 2 cars is a switchable unit. So, like right here, those couplers right there are not, they work, I mean they couple and uncouple, but they don't have springs on them and you can't operate with them. So I replaced, instead of having a unit of 4 cars, I replaced and put in real couplers for every 2 cars. So I have 16 cars, but it's basically 8 units, 8 switchable entities. I also put in loads. I think they're chooch loads, and I painted them different colors to reflect different grades of iron ore. Now, did iron ore really come in all these colors? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I've got 2 of each of brown, like these are the brown, 2 each of yellow, 2 black, and 2 red. So here's 1 red, yellow, red. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch these, reorder them so that they can be loaded into the correct loading, the chutes on the pier, which are all, well, let me get into that later. It's not that important. So the operational concept is similar to the previous video. The staging track actually represents a bridge over a river. And on the other side of the river is the ore dock and the ore boat and all. And what happens is the engine drags all the cars, has to drag them over to this side of the river because it's the only place they could find a yard in which to sort the cars. And once on this side of the river, the engine will sort the cars into the proper order for dumping into the ore boat. Now, is this historical? Not really. The Duluth, Mesabi, and Ironton had 2 sets of piers, one in Duluth, coincidentally, and one in a place called Two Harbors. And most of the sorting went on at a place called Proctor Yard, which is a gigantic yard well outside of Duluth, but still, that's where the sorting went on, and then the engines took the cars into the ore docks. Now, obviously, I can't do that, so this is what I'm doing. Like my that's my tripod. I've had this tripod for 40 years, 45 years, I don't know. It works. Before we move on, let's talk a little bit more about the engine. This is a Walther's Proto series. I guess they're not Proto 2000 anymore, they're just Proto. EMD SD9, DM and IR number 134. I'm just reading it right off the box. It has a Locomotive 5 decoder. I did not put in a keep alive because I don't really need one. It has got 6 wheels and my track is pretty sound, so I've never had a single problem with it losing power. Okay, now we'll talk a little bit about iron ore operations. Back in the day, this is like, well, up until the 60s, iron ore was divided into grades. And I'm indicating the grades by the colors. I went over that. Starting in the 60s, they started to use iron ore came in taconite, and now it's almost all taconite. It's like 99% taconite. Taconite's all the same size and all the same color, so there's no need to sort it. So where's the fun in that? So anyway, we have our loads. They come in whatever order they come from the mine, but they have to be loaded into the boats in a specific order, because each iron ore boat is divided into wells, let's just call them, covered with hatches. And since it takes more than one hopper to fill one of the wells, you have to make sure each well gets filled with the same type of iron ore. So that's why the cars have to be ordered in the right order to make sure you continue dumping the same type of ore into what's already in there. And it's a little more complicated than that, but that's all we need to know for this. So what I've done is I have my 16 cars, 4 different colors of iron ore, and divided up into 8 2-car units, as I've already discussed. I'm being a little redundant here, but I hope you're following me. And I have these cards that are all labeled with colors. So what I do, I just divide them up, or randomize them, and put them in my little storage thing here in the order in which they have to be sorted. Read again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish this without you having to watch every single thing I do, and we'll be right back. All right, I know they're hard for you to read, but this is the way it is. We got red, yellow, red, brown, brown, yellow, black, black. Okay, I've got all the cars onto the layout and removed the bridge because it's closed or open. Okay, whatever. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the first 3 cars and put them in the yard, get them out of the way. So already uncoupled them. Now one thing you'll notice is that I'm not going to go slow because this is iron ore. I'm not going to damage it if the cars bump a little too hard. Which is something I'm curious. Obviously, cars themselves have a limit to how hard you can hit them, but I wonder if in real life they did the same thing. And now I'm going to take the next string of 5 cars, put 3 of them on the track, and then take these 2, which are 2 black ones, which are this end of the train, and put them here. Now you'll notice that I am not doing this as a strict Inglenook puzzle. The Inglenook puzzle would put a limit of 3 cars, being the most I could take onto the lead track. I'm not doing that, one, to be different, and also just because that will make things take a lot longer to do. Okay, we're uncoupling these 3. All right, we've got our two black loads in place, and I just noticed, and this is entirely random, I did not set it up this way, but it's already set up exactly the way that it needs to be, because it's black, black, black and black. Next cars are yellow, brown, brown, and we've got yellow, brown, brown, and then red, yellow, red, and these are red, yellow, red. So, too easy. I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway, because you've seen switching before. This is just to demonstrate the concept really and show you what you can do. So I'm just going to finish it just the way it is, and this will be a reasonably short video for once. Okay, that's it. Got all of our cars in the right order, ready to go. Just waiting for the bridge to come back, and then we'll cross the river and take it down to the ore dock. Now, in case you were wondering, the process of changing the couplers was easy. It was a piece of cake. So if you want to do it yourself, don't have any hesitation. The little covers on the coupler pockets just pop right off. Use the KD number, I can never remember, but the whisker couplers, a piece of cake. Just drop right in, put the cover back on. Not an issue at all. You also might be wondering why I haven't weathered it. I haven't weathered either the engine or any of the cars. The answer is because I like them the way they are. They're really pretty. Now I know DMIR kept their engine spotless. So if I weather this, it will be very slightly. But the cars, yeah, they took some wear and tear, so they could actually stand some weathering. But I like them the way they are. Now you also might be wondering, why do some of the cars have one end yellow? It's just the Great Northern cars for some reason. But it's my understanding that when you use a rotary dumper, the yellow indicates the direction the car has to go in. Now I don't know whether the yellow end has to go in first, or the yellow end is the end that's still connected to the train. I don't know, but it has something to do with orientation for going on a rotary dumper. And the last thing I wanted to mention is give a plug for this book, Iron Ore Railroads, The Model Railroader's Guide 2, by Jeff Wilson. It's where I learned everything I needed to know about modeling iron ore railroads. And anything by Jeff Wilson is worth buying. He's really good, very thorough, very meticulous. And you know, the subjects are dry sometimes, but you know, that's what you get when you buy a technical book. Also, they're all loaded with great pictures. So recommend the book. And also recommend getting into iron ore operations. It's a heck of a lot of fun. All right, that's it. See you in a year or so when I do my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.